Welcome to the Aberdeen Progress Report, a monthly look at news, issues, and ideas concerning the Aberdeen area. Kaleidoscope Media, the Aberdeen Area Chamber of Commerce, and KSFY Television are joint producers of this broadcast. Your hosts are Steve Kaiser and Kim Lean.
Tonight on the Aberdeen Progress Report, what a mess for homeowners. Sewer lines plugged, sewage backups into homes on the southeast side. On our In-Depth tonight, we explore the status of education for elementary and secondary students in our community.
On our People You Should Know, meet a man that makes Aberdeen better in creative ways. And on the Interview of the Month, we visit with Northern State President Dr. James Smith about how things are going at NSU. On our Chamber section, we talk with Dan Thielsen about Aberdeen's Fall Job Fair, which will have its 20th anniversary. First, a look at last month's major news stories. To get a remodel of NSU's Johnson Fine Arts Center started this year will mean going outside of the norm. Usually when things are bid, a contractor is awarded the project based on the amount he agreed to. But bids for the project were $4 million over the architect's estimated price that had been approved by the Board of Regents. So the state of South Dakota is using what's called a construction manager at risk procedure for doing the remodel. One plan calls for eliminating a small theater as well as an update of electrical wiring and connections, though they hope to be able to raise enough additional money to cover the projects anyway. It's expected that construction manager will be hired by mid-month to oversee the project. We'll talk with NSU President James Smith about the changes on our Interview of the Month coming up on the Progress Report.
Sold by the city of Aberdeen. The community had built and owned the convention center at the Ramkota Inn for over 30 years, but the Ramkota managed it. The city has renewed 5-year lease agreements regularly since it was built in the early 1970s. However, when the Ramkota recently changed hands, the city decided it would sell the property to the highest bidder. Jeff Lamont, Aberdeen contractor and businessman, purchased the facility from the city for $475,000. The city stipulated he will have to operate it as a convention center for at least the next 20 years. Meanwhile, across town, work has started at Presentation College to build a dome. That's right, PC will be getting a dome stadium similar to this one at St. Cloud State University in Minnesota. PC has raised the money and completion is expected to be in mid-November. The dome will cover the existing practice field, allowing athletes from many sports to practice year-round on the covered field. PC President Margaret Huber called the new dome stadium a game changer for the college. The new owners are moving ahead to start operations at the former Northern Beef Packers plant on the south side of Aberdeen. The plant was sold at a bankruptcy auction in Sioux Falls in December and is now owned by White Oak Global Advisors, an investment firm based in California, which had invested $35 million in the plant in 2010 and 11. The plant has been renamed New Angus, and Doug Cooper has been named the plant's new CEO. Cooper is originally from Virginia and has an extensive background in animal science and the beef industry, including running a beef processing plant in Uruguay. Cooper told reporters this month that he's optimistic that they can get the plant up and running again within the next year and make it into a sustainable business. Cooper says they are currently inspecting the property and equipment to make sure everything is in order.
August was a wet month with storms such as this one moving through the area. This home in southeast Aberdeen was struck by lightning. According to the National Weather Service office, Aberdeen's received just over 6 inches of rain. Normal rainfall amounts for August are about 2.5 inches for the month. The Columbia area has been hit especially hard. According to Scott Meintz, Brown County's Emergency Management Director, who lives near the area, they have received over 8 inches of rain. Late last month, portions of southeast Aberdeen had endured a sewage backup following heavy rains. High Street and 12th Avenue was especially hit hard. A number of homes had water in their basements and piping had to be redone on the street. Work is still being completed in the area. However, earlier this summer it had been fairly dry, so overall this year we're still an inch below normal in total precipitation.
Also, due to the heavier than normal rainfall last month, area farmers are behind on getting their wheat and oats harvested. Farmers have said that the rain has helped corn and soybeans, but have hampered the overall wheat harvest. They're a bit worried by the low grain prices this year, though yields should be high, which should help offset the price difference from last year.
How high is the quality of education that the children in Aberdeen receive? It's a question we put to a number of people this week, and we got a number of different answers. Steve has the details on tonight's in-depth report.
Most of those we talked with in education and education administration feel education in Aberdeen has never been better. Students get a much wider range of learning than they did 20 or 30 years ago. Some believe that expanding technology has led to making learning quicker and easier, and that has led to huge changes. One of those is the Aberdeen Superintendent of Schools, Becky Guffin.
Well, I've been in education for 24 years, and I have certainly seen a change in the students that we have. You know, I think society has changed as well. We have much more technology that's available to students, and that creates a different type of a learner. They really are needing some instant gratification. Students want that feedback right away. So the days where we used to give an assessment and maybe not pass those back for a week while the teacher was checking them, that's very difficult for students. So we want to make sure that we're giving our students feedback right away. So we've had to make some changes with our curriculum with that as well. But students need to change activities often. It's very rare to see students sitting in their seats for long periods of time. They don't do that outside of school. We don't expect them to do that inside of school either.
The Dean of the School for Education at Northern is Connie Geyer, who says she sees major and exciting changes ahead for students.
We have had some students intern recently with the Minnesota Vikings, with the U.S. Olympic Committee. Those kinds of opportunities, I think, will become more common in secondary schools and high school. Already high school students are taking online classes as well. They do participate in job shadowing and have opportunities to extend their learning far beyond the classroom. I think as those become more common, we will see that permeate all aspects of education. I think that it's really an exciting time to be in the field of education right now. We're learning so much more about how the brain learns. We can tailor instruction much more effectively to each individual, and I think those changes will be super exciting.
A parent who thinks Aberdeen schools are generally on the right track says he does, however, have some worries. Chad Bergen has 3 kids in school right now. 2 years ago, the South Dakota legislature looked like it was running short of education funding dollars. And one of the first things threatened with cutting by lawmakers and the governor was money to school districts. Lawmakers ended up freezing the budget amount provided to local schools from the state, and most schools froze raises to teachers and staff. Many districts began moving to cut extracurricular activities. Activities Bergen sees as a major component in getting a good education.
I don't think anything's missing. I think maybe there's some areas you worry about, you know, with cuts over the last few years with no Child Left Behind program. You worry about the higher advanced classes being cut back and stuff like that. Hopefully that doesn't happen over time. You worry about the extracurricular activities with music and drama and those things. Are they going to get cut back too? You know, hopefully it never comes to pay to play and stuff like that for the extracurricular activities, not only sports, but you're looking at theater, music, drama, oral and terp, those different things. They're very important, you know, I think for kids to learn how to speak and other things going forward in life. They're great lessons of learning how to get organized and stuff like that.
Budget pressures seem to have subsided over the past 2 years as salaries for teachers have risen, but not enough to take South Dakota out of last place in the nation in paying teachers, while other workers in the state are around 35th in the nation. But not many think any changes will come about in teacher pay anytime soon in South Dakota.
Coming up on the Progress Report, meet a man known for his art, illustrations, and more, who is tonight's People You Should Know.
Soon to open, a new experience in Aberdeen, Kessler's Holiday Station on 6th Avenue just east of State Street. Our new facility will provide an excitingly fresh experience in foods for on-the-go people. Kessler's Holiday Station will have a full line of prepared sandwiches and other foods with the excellence you're used to from Kessler's. Extremely competitive rates for your fuel needs also. Located directly across 6th Avenue from our main store. Kessler's, here for you for over 75 years.
Your home is warm, comfortable, and welcoming when your friends linger more leisurely, your family gathers more joyously, and your spare time is spent in pure relaxation. Since 1945, Malchow's quality and style, combined with our decades of experience, have helped you fill your house with dynamic new furnishings. We make it easy with design ideas. Our creative staff will come to your home with a free, no-hassle consultation that's sure to meet your needs. Malchow's, the look you love to come home to.
When you're looking for a great selection, Har's has the cars.
For fantastic savings on exactly what you want, Har Motors excited to announce the Bargain Center right on our lot. With over 30 vehicles and most of them under $10,000, there's something for everyone. Har Motors offers 0 down and financing. You can't beat the Bargain Center at Har Motors.
Har Motors, Har's has the cars.
This month on Our People You Should Know, meet an artist, teacher, and craftsman. Kim has the details.
Meet Jacob Bosmoe, a local artist and handyman. He was born and raised here in Aberdeen while spending summers at his family's farm near Roslyn. He attended Northern State University where he has received degrees in fine arts, K-12 education, and educational leadership. He started his teaching career as a permanent substitute for Holgate Middle School. He went on to teach exploratory art at Simmons Middle School for several years. He also spent a year filling in as an art teacher and a year filling in as an assistant principal at Aberdeen Central High School. Now he splits his time in between doing mostly commissioned artworks, installing drywall, and flipping homes. He started in home remodeling and drywall work by helping a friend one summer to avoid delivering pizzas. From there, he has expanded his handyman knowledge and now has remodeled and flipped 3 houses as well as ongoing renovations of his own home. Bosmoe told us he has been creating art since before he can remember and enjoys creating pieces for his clients, including painting murals, a couple of signs, and various paintings on canvas. He told us about his favorite parts of his different career paths.
Well, teaching, my favorite part about education is just like the impact that I have on individual students and running into them years later. Even though I've only taught a total of 7 years, the number of students I've had come back to me and tell me that I made a difference or how much they enjoyed their time in my class, like that really means a lot. And when I was just starting out in education, of course I never got that. And once I started hearing that I was making a difference, it made me feel like I wanted to carry on quite a bit more. So that would be the best thing about being in the classroom. The best thing about making art, when I do that for a living, is just that it's intuitive, it's second nature. I've always done it. You know, I've always been making things since I was a little kid. My mom was always putting Play-Doh and crayons and paper and pens in front of me, and that's just what I do. So when I make an art, I feel very comfortable.
Bosmoe has many different hobbies he enjoys as well. He and his wife Julie like to spend a lot of time outdoors going camping, backpacking, hiking, and gardening in their yard. He also enjoys spending time with their dog, Sadie. Jacob Bosmoe, one of the people you should know.
Coming up is our interview of the month. We discuss things at Northern State University with Dr. James Smith, the president of NSU.
If you haven't heard, Aberdeen recently held a ribbon cutting for the finest hotel in the hub city. Town Place Suites by Marriott is located adjacent to the Lakewood Mall. These gorgeous suites are extended stay facilities, but offer lodging from a night or two to special rates for weekly or monthly stays. Each and every unit comes with kitchen facilities, in addition to offering everything to please business travelers, families, or anyone who wants luxury accommodations at reasonable rates. Town Place Suites by Marriott, a block north of 6th Avenue, adjacent to the Lakewood Mall.
One place for all your insurance needs? Of course. See State Farm Agent Linda Shop. Call or stop by today.
Dr. James Smith, the president of Northern State University, is with us today on our interview of the month. Welcome to the Progress Report, Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Steve. Glad to be here.
Northern at the moment seems to be enjoying, well, we could say the best of times, but life has changed somewhat for executives like yourself, because whereas in the past, any kind of building or expansion programs came mostly from the legislature, today you have to go out and raise the money, apparently, which seems a little strange to those of us that are old enough to remember the old ways. How are things going now with the fundraising, and where do you think you're going for the year or two?
Well, currently, as you described, we go to the legislature and we ask for permission to build a building, and then we have HEF funds, which are generated actually by student fees. And those HEF funds used to cover 100% of a building project. Now they may cover 50%, 60%. We go out and fundraise the rest. It's different. We have to ask some people to give for bricks and mortar, and they haven't always wanted to do that or thought they would have to do that. But we have a great story to sell.
Although you thought you had all the funding for the Johnson Fine Arts Center, it looks like the bids came in a little higher. Where do you think you'll be going for the funds from here?
Well, we're right back to, thank you, Kim, it's a great question. We're right back to Steve's question, do you go out and fundraise more? And essentially that's what we'll do. We're going to do a construction manager at risk project where we'll have someone come and trim down as much as they can of the existing costs, but we know we have to go out and raise money. The black box is probably not going to be able to be in the initial building, and we're going to go out and raise those dollars because we have to have a black box theater, which many people don't understand. It's just a small theater space, literally black, so you can convert it to anything you want. You can do small recitals, you can do large scale recitals, you can do small one-act plays, and given the size of our theater program, musical theater, and just our vocal performance, we have to have that space. So Todd Jordry and the foundation and I will go out and we'll raise the money and find a donor, and hopefully one person will write that check, and that'll be a really nice way to wrap up the project and get going.
Well, beyond the Johnson Center, are there other projects that are underway that you've got in mind?
Well, we have a number in mind. We definitely need a new residence hall, and we're working on the look of that. Many of you who know our campus, there is a space behind the Washington Street parking lot, kind of catty corner from Muggs, the coffee shop. We own that space, and that would be one space we would look at for a new residence hall. Students, they're used to living in a different space than when I was an undergraduate. They expect to be able to put a 42-inch flat screen TV on their wall and to have their own maybe shared restroom with 2 or 3 or 4 other guys or gals, not the design that we have for many of our halls. We have 2 halls with suites. We need to build a 3rd one with suites. So that's probably our next big project.
You've established a new minor in agriculture in conjunction with South Dakota State University. Is that being offered right now?
It is. Actually, you could have started this summer. We had some students that did. We're going to probably see the most interest in that combined with banking, but also with our bachelor's in business administration, which is the old general business degree. We have a lot of folks that come from farm and ranch families. They want to be at Northern for lots of different reasons. Some of them are athletes, some of them are just close to home and they want to be there. And to add this with SDSU's emphasis on ag business will be really good for us. They'll be online. You can do them in person, but most of our students will do them online. And we see a real interest in banking because of ag banking being such a large part of what goes on in South Dakota, and then in the general business track.
You've established that minor in conjunction with South Dakota State. How's that relationship?
It's very good. We hope to be able to announce pretty soon that we'll be able to do the reverse in accounting, that they'll be able to do, you could be an ag finance guy or gal and pick up your 150 hours to sit for the CPA exam by taking our online courses. I think that'll go to the Board of Regents in October. Once it's approved for online delivery, we'll be able to do, there'll be a send site for agribusiness, we'll be the send site for accounting. We have a very good relationship with SDSU.
Jim, are you adding the greenhouse on campus soon?
We are. I guess I should have said that when Steve said, what's the next big building project? That is the next big building project. We have an architectural firm that's been determined. It's a group out of Fargo, but they're opening an office in Brookings, and they'll be helping us design between Maywalt Jensen, which is the science building, and Gerber, our education building, is the first choice for a spot. But we're also hearing the backside, which would be the south of Maywalt Jensen because of the southern exposure, might be desirable. I'm not sure how we're going to take out the steps because that's an entryway into the building, but that's what you hire architects for. And it'll be a very high-tech greenhouse. Someone was explaining to me the other day that you will know every minute of every day the soil temperature in every bed, because as you're doing National Science Foundation grants, they have to know that you have consistency. And it fits perfectly with our environmental science and our biology program that's very large, and then science education will be greatly advantaged. That's about $750,000 project, and this time next year it will be open. So we're going to work, design through the early part of the winter, build in the spring and summer, and have it open for August of 2015.
Dr. James Smith, President, Northern State University, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you both.
Next on the Progress Report, we'll talk about the area jobs outlook with Dan Thielsen of the South Dakota Department of Labor. Stay tuned.
Why does Pearson Ford continue to offer this area's best prices? There's one big reason. Fleet pricing on new pickups means you can save big dollars. Ford will allow you to get volume pricing of an extra 2 to 10% off when you purchase brand new F-150 and 250 trucks. And Ford technology continues to provide vehicles that are 20% more fuel efficient than they were back in 2005. Plus, get great assistance for your driving, listening, and navigating using the My Ford Touch system. See us today at Pearson Ford, located in the Auto Plaza in Aberdeen.
See what we can do. Because Healthcare Plus is a member-owned credit union, dividends are paid monthly back to the members, which is an added benefit, both in savings and in checking.
One thing you'll find about the credit union here is that the people, they want to serve you and they want to do a good job.
In fact, we've recommended Healthcare Plus to a number of people we know that have joined and now have accounts with them.
See what we can do at Healthcare Plus Federal Credit Union in Aberdeen, South Dakota.
On our chamber section tonight, we're talking about the upcoming job fair in Aberdeen. With us is Dan Thielsen. He's with the South Dakota Department of Labor. Welcome to the Progress Report, Dan.
Welcome.
Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about the upcoming job fair. When is it? What is it?
It's on September 18th from 12:30 to 5 p.m. It's held at Aberdeen Civic Arena. It's a great opportunity for employers to sell their positions to job seekers. And we've always had a real good attendance to this in the past.
Okay, maybe you should explain a little bit where Aberdeen Civic Arena is. Some people may not know.
It's located on South Washington Street. Yeah. Off of there, it's about 2 blocks off of Main Street to the west, and it's right across from the new police station.
Okay. How are the numbers looking right now for the employers that are taking part?
We're anticipating between 40 and 50. In the last 2 job fairs, we've had over 50 plus. And there's a good chance we could hit that again. A lot of them sign up a little bit later. Right now we're a little over 20, and this is still plenty of time yet. We'll have a lot more coming in this week.
Okay, anybody that's going to take part in the fair, what kind of preparations would you recommend they make?
For the employers have different things they can advertise and sell their positions and their openings in their company. Because a lot of people may not be aware of what your company does or even what they do. You might have drove by your business, might even know your business was even in town type situation for it or in the area for it. And job seekers bring copies of resumes, be dressed for an interview, have everything ready to go for it, to be prepared to do interviews right at the time and to do online completing of applications.
How is the job market looking right now in Aberdeen?
Right now, this is a seeker's market. You get 2 different markets. Normal full unemployment considered by the U.S. Department of Labor is 4% unemployment rate. Aberdeen's at 2.6%. So if you're below the normal zero, what they consider zero unemployment, by that amount, you're having a hard time filling the positions because you're having a hard time finding people. So that means they could be more choosy.
Does the Department of Labor have programs for job seekers to make themselves more marketable?
Yes, we do. We have the Workforce Investment Act, different training programs like that where we go and where they do different training things where they can go and actually get training on different stuff. We can do mock interviews. We have job search assistance workshops to help them better to apply, how to fill out applications, how to find the hidden job market, how to present themselves in an interview, do mock interviews. There's a whole wide variety of things that we do. The National Career Readiness Certificates programs to help show your skill ability. We offer that through our program where they can get tested. It's a national test that's taken all over the country.
It's been a long time since I've done a job interview, but I'm sure I made mistakes, plenty of them. I know I went on some interviews, I didn't get a job. What are the most egregious things that people do to basically spoil their own chances?
One thing is they don't talk themselves up and they actually talk themselves down. They'll say something's negative that would kill the interview with the employer. Why would I hire you if you had this problem? you know, they're actually doing stuff out there, their self-confidence isn't right. You know, part of it is you want to be that positive influence where they're going to say, yeah, I want to consider you. You'll be a good match for our staff.
So if you've been in jail for 10 years before, you may not be the first thing out of your mouth?
No, but they also tell them they're not to hide that if they're an ex-felon who's just been recently released. To be upfront with it, but that's not the first thing you're trying to advertise.
Okay. Tell us again about the details of the job fair.
The job fair is going to be from 12:30 to 5 p.m. on September 18th, held at Aberdeen Civic Arena. And if you want to get registered as an employer, to give me a call at 625-626-2340, or you can email me at dan.thielsen@state.sd.us.
Okay. Dan Thielsen, thank you for joining us today on the Progress Report.
Thank you for having me.
Business After Hours, a monthly mixer for business professionals and the community, will be held on Thursday, September 11th. It will be hosted by Webb Water and held in the Ward Ballroom in the Alonzo Ward Hotel. It will begin at 5:15 p.m. Food and drinks will be available. Please RSVP to the Chamber. You do not need to be a Chamber member to attend.
The 20th Anniversary Abbey Awards will be held Thursday, September 18th at the Dakota Event Center. Social hour and heavy hors d'oeuvre buffet begins at 6 p.m. with the awards ceremony beginning at 7 p.m. Tickets are $40 or $300 for a table of 8. RSVP to the Chamber.
Next on the Progress Report, we have a look at some shots of last month's Brown County Fair.
The Aberdeen Progress Report is sponsored by Celebration Entertainment, the industry leader since 1998.
We all know what a great place Aberdeen is to live, but we need your help in spreading the word. Let relatives and friends know of the career opportunities that are available now. Job prospects are expanding greatly in our community. Major employers are now hiring with hundreds of openings. You can remind them that we also have a great city park system, superb arts and entertainment, and our educational opportunities are outstanding. The Aberdeen Development Corporation invites you to come write your story in Aberdeen.
Okay, Kim, apparently it was a very, very good fair. I got out there a couple of times, and everything seemed to run very smoothly as usual. And the fair attendance, we're told, was about normal, and so they were real pleased with the way things went.
Absolutely, Steve. There was great weather and lots of positive feedback about the new Midway and the rides.
Yeah, so things went pretty well. Well, if you or your families don't catch the initial broadcast run of the Progress Report on KSFY TV, there are several ways to view it after its first airing. As always, you can go to the Midco cable TV service on its video on demand capability. Just go to Video on Demand, choose Free Local Content, and pick the Progress Report. It should start within about 10 seconds.
To see it via the internet, you'll find it easier to use. Just go to this website, aberdeenprogressreport.com. Be sure to write it as one word before the .com. This month's episode will start with just one click. You can also go to a recording of it on the web at any of these websites, aberdeen-chamber.com, ksfy.com, or kaleidoscopemedia.net, or aberdeenprogressreport.com.
Keep in mind also, every other month, the Chamber publishes our companion, the Aberdeen Progress Magazine. All Chamber members should receive a free copy of the magazine that is filled with news and details about the Chamber and the community. The Aberdeen American News also delivers it free to subscribers. If you didn't get one, stop on down to the Chamber office and pick up a copy.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Steve and I will see you next month on Saturday, October 4th, following KSFY's Late Evening News. Our production crew, our sponsors, and Steve and I are thankful for you joining us on the Aberdeen Progress Report TV show. Good night, everyone.
This has been the Aberdeen Progress Report. News, issues, and ideas concerning the Aberdeen area. The Aberdeen Progress Report is produced by Kaleidoscope Media, the Aberdeen Area Chamber of Commerce, and KSFY Television.